Well, hello and welcome to Firefly's Family Game Night. I am your host, Emily, with Firefly Toys and Games. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions about these games or any questions about the family game night that we host, just contact us with our phone number, 803-996-3473. Catch us on our website, fireflytoysandgames.com, or our social media platforms or anywhere else that you contact us with. So tonight we're going to take a look at Dog Crimes and Cat Crimes by ThinkFun Games. These are really cute games. You can actually play these solo, or you can gather a group together and start working on deducing who did what deed. So let's take a look at cat crimes and dog crimes. So I'm actually going to focus more on dog crimes today because I know we've done cat crimes a bit before, and I think I talked about dog crimes a while back. But definitely want to focus on dog crimes because they're really cute. So cat crimes and dog crimes, you're going to get some challenge cards, and so you do have the answers on the back. But what you're going to do is you're going to read the questions. You're going to figure out where all the dogs and who was sitting where, or cats if you're doing cat crimes. And at the end of it, you should have a total of up to six dogs or cats around the table. And so by deducing what dog ate the homework or deducing who knocked over the plant, you can figure out which one is the culprit for that particular challenge. And so you've got 40 challenges in each game that you can go through. It's going to be easier just to walk you through it real quick. But look at these cute little dogs and cats. So you get to play with these in the game. And by the way, in the instruction book for both the dog crimes and cat crimes, you are going to have suspect bios. You have different profiles for each of the dogs and the cats. And they're really cute to read. So like, for an example, Pepper. She's 4 months old, and this is Pepper right here. So she is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. She's 1 foot and 5 inches high, so she's very small. And she only weighs 12 pounds. She can identify by the white paws and the perky ears. It's pretty obvious. And just a little bit about her. The newest addition to the house, Pepper is a curious young pup. She loves to explore and nibble on everything from dog toys to beloved family heirlooms. So, I mean, like, this is going to give you a little bit of an information about where the dogs come from and how old they are. And so you can really play around with that as well, especially if you're working on reading with your kids. That's something that this game would definitely be good for as well. Okay, so let's get started. So we need to figure out challenge number 1. Who tore up the pillow? So you've got a couple of markers over here. We do have a pillow that looks like it's been ravaged by a dog and started having fluff pulled out, which looks like what my dog would do if she liked to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the marker here, indicating that whoever sits in this spot is the culprit for this challenge. So now we're going to start reading and see if we can figure out where all the dogs sit. So Beans was sitting in front of the homework. Well, let's find the homework. So that's cake and a plant and flies. That's shoes. This is the homework. Now we do have some other smaller clues, like you do have the rawhide over here. You have a paw print. You have a sock. You have a ball. And then you have a toy. And a stick. So you have different indications as to where they might sit as well. So we're going to put Beans. Doesn't he look so cute with the bow tie? In front of the homework. All right, the second thing we're going to see is that Ace was sitting across from Beans. So now that we know Beans is here, directly across is going to be in front of the cake. So let's move Suzette out of the way. Let's move Daisy out of the way because Ace was sitting at the cake. Well, we know that Beans and Ace are not the culprit. So let's see if we can figure out who else is. Daisy was sitting to Ace's right. So Ace's right would be this direction, but we don't know which side, whether it's going to be the plant or the pillow. Cider was sitting in front of a rawhide. Okay, so the other option we're going to have is either the potted plant or the shoes. And then Suzette was sitting next to Cider. So we know that Cider and Suzette are on the same side, which means they both have to be over here. Now, if that's the case, Cider was in front of a rawhide. And the only place there's a rawhide that's on this side is on this side. So that means that Suzette was sitting here, Cider was sitting here, which means that Daisy was sitting at the pillow. Now, are we correct? That's the question. We are not correct. So let's go back and think about this. Okay. We still have Pepper that we didn't put on the board. If it says that Daisy was sitting to Ace's right, do you think Daisy might have sat closer to Ace, since that's the next spot over, and then Pepper sat here? This is some great questions you can actually ask yourself and some of your kids so that they can start learning about logic reasoning and deductive reasoning. So now let's look at it. Okay, I'm upside down. So the culprit is Pepper, and Pepper is sitting in the culprit spot, so we're correct there. Ace is sitting in front of the cake, Suzette is over here in front of the flies, and then we have Cider, and then we have Beans, then we have Pepper, and then we have Daisy. So we've got it correct. So if you wanted to keep going, you can continue introducing challenges, and then you would read off the challenges and be able to figure out who did it. Let's go ahead and skip a little bit farther than beginner, though. Let's see who broke the flower pot. So we're going to change out the markers. So we're now going to break the flower pot, and the pillow's going to go away. And now let's read these. Okay. So Daisy was sitting in front of a rawhide, which means she's actually sitting in front of a rawhide right now, but that was from the previous challenge. So it's either going to be where she's currently at or over here, but we're going to leave her there for now. Cider was sitting across from Daisy. So wherever Cider sits, Daisy's going to sit across from her. All right. Pepper was sitting between Daisy and Cider. That's a good in-between. Pepper was not sitting in front of a rope toy. Now here's the problem. Pepper is sitting in front of the rope toy. So what if Daisy was sitting in front of this rawhide and Daisy was sitting here, Cider was sitting across. If Pepper's sitting in between, there is not a rope toy here, so maybe Pepper is supposed to sit here. Beans was sitting across from Pepper, which means Beans is at the birthday cake. And Suzette was sitting to Beans' left, which means Ace would be sitting in front of the flower pot. What do you guys think? Do you think that's correct? It means that Ace would be the culprit. We are correct. So, we're going to look at this again. Beans, Suzette, Daisy, this is Pepper, this is Cider, and this is Ace. So we got it correct on the first try. These are really easy to be able to follow through on a challenge, but when you start getting in those deeper, advanced, and expert levels, they can be kind of challenging. So definitely work your way up. It's a really good idea to get you a partner or get you a couple of people, or as a family, you all sit down together and take a look at this game, and then you all can work on building those deductive skills. So that's dog crimes. Cat crimes is the exact same way. Really cute kitty cats. You've got Mr. Mittens and Pipsqueak and Sassy, and you've got Duchess, and you've got Tomcat back here, and you've got Ginger. So they're really cute kitty cats, and they act all nice and innocent and pretty, but they're really not that innocent. You also have a 40 card challenge in here as well, where you can start in beginner and work your way up as well, so you start getting those deductive skills. So the other thing that I would point out right here, sometimes it'll tell you that dogs and cats were upstairs sleeping or outside playing, or it gives you some indication that they are gone from where they're supposed to be. That means they're not actually supposed to be on the board. So for an example, I'm not going to show you the guilty party. I'm going to try not to. With those two cats being away, so you've got Looks like Mr. Mittens and Pipsqueak were upstairs. It means they're not going to be placed on the board. So all you have is 4 cats to play with. So some of the challenges will actually give you that, hey, these 2 are not even the culprits because they weren't even in the room, so just set them aside for now. So definitely want to work on that. The other thing to note is when it says across from or next to or to the left of, they're very specific instructions. So if it says next to the fishbowl, it's actually indicating that instead of being in front of, it's adjacently next. So it would be the next possible spot to go into. Of course, across is very direct, but so a lot of times you're going to have the difference of in front versus next to. So make sure to watch those words because that'll trip you up sometimes. But these are really, really cute. So dogs and cats are the same. They're going to have different challenges. So you'll be able to buy both games and you'll actually get your money's worth because they are completely separate challenges. So you will not be doing the same thing twice, but it's the same idea. But that's cat crimes and dog crimes. And of course, cat crimes will also have the cute little files in it as well. Well, that was really quick. But dog and cat crimes are really quick explanations. There's not a whole lot to them. It's a really simple game to get into. Since we're starting to gear up for school, I definitely wanted to bring this out. It's some really fun play. It definitely starts working on those reading skills and those deductive and logic thinking, so that you can start getting those brains geared up to get ready to start thinking and learning. So I'm excited to be able to see you guys again. I hope you can make it out for the next family game night. Don't know what it's going to be. We'll find out next Saturday at 5 p.m. So I hope you all have a great weekend and see you then. Goodbye.